Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, CS Mbadi led a delegation to IMF World Bank annual meeting, which was held in Washington on the 21st, 2024. So, in that meeting, CS Mbadi is telling Kenyans that IMF embarrassed them. Now, this revelation, he made it in front of RUTO during the ceremony to celebrate Taxpayers' Day. Now, going by the statement by John Mbadi, I could tell that John Mbadi appeared to have been frustrated, embarrassed, humiliated by the IMF. So as to why that could have taken place is still not known, but maybe we could as well link the fact that there are other policies which IMF tried to bring to Kenyans and John Mbadi refused. You know, the issue of corporate tax. IMF tried to bring a figure, but John Mbadi decided to cap that figure at a rate that is a bit friendly with the corporate entities. Now, this could be the reason why IMF mistreated John Mbadi during that meeting, which was held in Washington, D.C. So I want us to go extensively into that revelation coming from John Mbadi, ladies and gentlemen. So before we get further on this analysis, I'd like to kindly request you to go below there, locate a button with the word subscribe, and subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed. So many of you watch our videos, but you forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. Also, don't forget to like this video. It's so important because that is the only way YouTube shares our content. Thanks so much for all of you who've supported us. So before we get further, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pay a very close attention to this video of statements that CS John Mbadi unleashed. Pay attention to this video.
I wanted to say, which is not in part of my speech, and is in response to what the chairman has said. The first one, Chairman, you're right that I was embarrassed at Washington, not that we were treated badly, Your Excellency. I wanted just to clarify. But you see, when you find African countries queuing in corridor, then you are called one by one. Nigeria, you come, 15, 30 minutes. Rwanda, Kenya, I mean, for those of us who have some pride, it's a bit demeaning. And you see the money that we are asking for out there, Your Excellency, if we just tighten our system, we can do without some of these monies. We can do. Because today, IMF has released 78 billion shillings. But if KRA puts systems in place, we can collect not less than 400 billion shillings. So we can do without some of these loans. But again, Your Excellency, the chairman spoke about staff motivation. Your Excellency, I promised you when you appointed me that you did not appoint a conman. We will not con Kenyans. We will speak to Kenyans. Where Kenyans feel we need to change, we will change. But let us engage. Again, what I said to my team at the Treasury is I was not, when the president appointed me, he did not appoint a clerk. He appointed someone who would come up with the policies. So policies must be proposed. So those who are opposing policies proposed, you are wrong. Let us engage. Let us discuss. Where you feel we need to change, we will change. We put out a notice asking you to give us proposals. We received this proposal.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen. After listening to that video, my mind flashed back to a day when IMF paid CS Mbadi a visit, and the discussion was all about the corporate tax that I think is supposed to be subjected on business entities, you know, companies, you know, and Mbadi looked at that matter and realized that if he agreed to the terms of IMF, then the business or the corporate world in Kenya would feel would feel disadvantaged over this over this aspect of taxes being imposed on them. And Mbadi's reasoning was that these corporate entities are the ones that create jobs for Kenyans. If you put more tax on them, they will resort to cutting down on the expenditure on labor. That would mean scaling down on staffing. So because of that reason, Mbadi did not agree to the demands by IMF. I'm tempted to believe that this could be the reason why Mbadi had to be mistreated, because he did not toe the line. He did not agree to the demands of IMF. Or maybe we could say IMF are unhappy over what happened here in Kenya, talking about the Gen Z's movement. These are some of the things which I think could be the reasons why this kind of this level of mistreatment was experienced, and that is what John Mbadi was telling William Samoei Ruto. So based on that video, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think could have been the case to have Mbadi make such kind of a response about the mistreatment by IMF? Initially, like the case of Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, we could not have had this kind of complaint, from someone of the caliber of CS. But for John Mbadi to come out publicly and make this kind of assertions, then one thing I can make out of this is that John Mbadi must have felt totally humiliated. Maybe that's what I can say, ladies and gentlemen, based on my analysis from that video. There's something also that Mbadi points out there, which I think also needs to be looked at. Mbadi is talking about policies. It's telling William Ruto, telling the people in the Treasury, especially KRA, through William Ruto, that he was not appointed to be a clerk. A clerk is someone who just records whatever is there and reports. But he was appointed because William Ruto believed that he is a policy maker. So the fact that Mbadi is making that statement also leads me to one thing. Maybe Mbadi is facing a lot of resistance in the Treasury, simply because in the Treasury, there are people who are pro-IMF. They would want everything to be done according to IMF's wishes. But because Mbadi has proved himself to be a no-nonsense when it comes to entertaining policies of IMF, maybe that explains why Mbadi could be facing a lot of resistance. That explains why he had to make a statement, a very strong statement to William Ruto, to those people in the presence of William Ruto, that he was not appointed to be a clerk. He is a policymaker. And that is something that he's telling the people in the KRA department or the Treasury. They need to accept the reality. Earlier on, Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, it's alleged that he attended most of the policies of IMF, and that explains why the finance bill that was fronted, one that faced a lot of resistance, was shot down, simply because all the policies that IMF proposed, maybe they gave into. That made the bill appear as if it's a bill that was going to scare away Kenyans and investors and everybody through this issue of taxation. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go below in the comment section and offer a reaction regarding this statement from John Mbadi. I know John Mbadi would not have just woken up and made that kind of statement, knowing very well that that message was going to reach to the IMF people. And because it was going to reach the IMF people, of course, there was going to be some reaction from the IMF. So he made that statement with a very bold mind and a very, very positive intention. Now, I want you to go below in the comment section. You can offer a reaction regarding this position of John Mbadi. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.